Hello, this is Mr. Kingsbury. Don't forget to put the date and the period that you have me on your notes. We're doing Algebra 2 stuff today. Specifically, our unit is quadratics, and we're going to look at the characteristics of quadratics. The essential question lists those characteristics in great detail. Our essential question is, given a quadratic equation written in both standard and vertex forms, how do I find the domain, range, y-intercept, vertex, and line of symmetry? Excellent question. In order to do those things, we first need to be reminded of what the two forms look like. So we have standard form, which looks like this. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And then we have vertex form, which is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And you'll notice that each of these has variables in it that we can read, interpret, pull out, etc. And those variables will be used to find all of the stuff that was talked about in the essential question. So let me see if I can show you all those things. In fact, let's just list them out. So we need the vertex, I think was one. The line of symmetry. We've got the y-intercept. Domain. Range. I think that about covers it. Oh, and also we're going to want to identify if the vertex is a maximum or minimum. So what are all the secrets here? How do we know what all these things are? For starters, the vertex is going to be the h value, comma, the k value. And that's going to be important because it's going to feed into the line of symmetry and also the range. But we'll get there. The line of symmetry will always be x equals something. In this case, it will be x equals the h value. The y-intercept is always written as an ordered pair. It will be 0, comma, some number. That number is actually the c value from the standard form equation. For all parabolas, which is what the graph of a quadratic equation is called, the domain is simply negative infinity, less than x, less than infinity. That will not change, not for any of the ones we're going to look at. So that, there's no interpretation, just memorize that. Copy it down, rewrite it. For the range, we have one of two options. It's either going to be k is less than y, less than or equal to y, less than infinity, or negative infinity is less than y is less than or equal to k, and it depends. If k is the y value of the vertex. So if the graph opens up, then the vertex is a minimum, and we're going to use this. If the graph opens down, then the vertex is a maximum, and we're going to use this one. So it just depends. Now, how do you tell if it's a minimum or maximum? Usually you can look at the a value. This is a positive a. This is a negative a. If you're not sure, you can also graph it. That's fine as well. And then lastly, we can use that to figure out if the vertex is a minimum or a maximum. So we'll just put that off to the side there. Minimum would be a positive a. Maximum would be a negative a. I did not write that very, very large or well. So let me just give you a couple of examples, and we'll go from there. So let's say I give you y equals 3 times x minus 7 squared minus 5. Now that's the vertex form of the equation. And the truth is, I don't want to spend this video converting it. We did that in a previous video. We will do it in class, but I don't want to spend the video dealing with that portion. So let's say you do the conversions, and when you do, you get y equals 3x squared minus 14x plus 142. So I would say that it's important to identify the a, the h, and the k, which you were given. That's in the vertex form. A is 3. The h would be positive 7. I know it looks like a negative, but remember, if you look back in the formula, there's a negative in front of the h, right? Negative in front of the h. So whatever you Whatever value is there, you have to interpret it as the opposite of whatever sign it looks like it is. And then we got -5 for k. Also, we need to know what A, B, and C are. So we're going to look for the standard form of the equation for that. Remember, ax squared bx c, very important. So my A would be 3, right? Would be 3. I pointed to the wrong thing for a second, sorry. My B would be -14, and my C would be 142. Now we can list out all these different characteristics. So let's start with the vertex. So that would be the H value, which is 7, comma the K value, which is -5. And we write it as an ordered pair, so make sure to include your parentheses. Also, is it a minimum or maximum? Well, the A value is positive. That means it opens up, right? This is going to open up, which makes the vertex a minimum. The line of symmetry, excuse me, that will be x equals the H value. H is 7, so x equals 7. Y-intercept, that will be 0, comma, whatever the C value is. C is 142. Write it as an ordered pair, please. Make sure to include the parenthesis. Very important. Domain, that one's not going to change. -infinity less than x, less than infinity. And then range will be, let's see, since this opens up, remember I said there was 2? Since this opens up, we'll use k is less than or equal to y is less than infinity. So what I can write is less than or equal to y less than infinity, and I just need to know what the k value is. Well, that would be -5. That's all there is to it. As you can see, knowing both of these different versions can be very, very helpful because you can get all kinds of information. Let me do another one just for fun. Let's say that y equals -2x squared minus 4x minus 6. That's the standard form. And then after some work, you figure out that the vertex form is -2 times x plus 1 squared minus 4. So I need to know what A, H, and K are. A is -2. H looks like +1, but remember, it's always the opposite sign of what it looks like in the equations. That's going to be -1. I love breaking my pencil lead. It's driving me nuts, sorry. And then K is -4. Then I need to know what A, B, and C are. A is -2. Notice they're the same. B is -4, and C is -6. The vertex then would be H comma K. That's -1 comma -4. And the A value is negative. That means this thing is upside down. That makes the vertex a maximum. Very important. Line of symmetry always starts with x equals. It will be x equals H. H is -1. Y-intercept, always an ordered pair, starts with 0, 0, comma C. C is -6, so 0, -6. Domain, always the same, -infinity less than x less than infinity. And range, since this thing opens down, the range will be -infinity is less than y is less than k, and k is -4. So there are all my characteristics. That's all there really is to it. We'll do some practice in class. I think after you do a few, you should get the hang of it. So see you in class.